What's up, Van fam? It is Ben Price back at you again today with another video. And today we're going to be doing another van tour. And I'm really excited because this is actually the first customer van of our DIY kit. So of course we installed it here. She didn't do it herself. But the kit components, regardless of who installed it, are the first of our DIYs other than Base Camp to go out. And that's really exciting. And I'm excited to share it with you guys. So without wasting time, let's get inside the van. Okay, so today's tour is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be doing a tour, but I'm also going to be explaining some of our DIY components and how they fit in here. So like I said at the beginning of the video, everything in here is based off of our DIY components. So as we've finished it here, we've got a luxury vinyl plank flooring, we've got marathon fabric on the walls, and we've got plyboo or bamboo plywood up on the ceiling. The customer also brought this van to us with windows and a fan already installed. So we went ahead and just cut out around our normal cuts to fit those. Now, if you were to get these components, they would come as just raw, unfinished Baltic birch. We're not releasing the bamboo ceiling yet, but they will be available for special order. Now, as I mentioned, we have a hole cut out for a window and our LED strips up here are recessed. They would come to you if you were to order them from us without those. Everything is full end to end, no pre-drilled holes except for fixing points. So you can finish it however you want. You are not stuck to those design elements. For things like floor, you can cover it with whatever you want. For things like the wall and the ceiling, you can paint it, stain it, laminate it, you know, whatever you want to do, as long as you're starting with that Baltic birch base. Now the floor comes with two pieces. Actually, it's already laminated with insulation, and that insulation has been cut out on our CNC to fit the grooves of the floor perfectly. So there's only one way that it can go in. You don't have to worry about leveling everything out beforehand. So with our system, you end up getting 3 steps taking care of one. You don't have to worry about leveling it. The insulation's built in. And then of course the Baltic birch is already laminated to the insulation, so everything just drops in nice and easy. That leaves a nice blank, solid Baltic birch subfloor for you to cover however you want. You can do like we did here, luxury vinyl planking. You could do a 2-Tech-2, you could do gym mat, coin dot, sky's the limit. Okay, so moving on from there, we'll talk about our upper cabinets. Now this cabinet right here, this is close to our standard dimensions. Standard dimensions will be on the product page on our website. This one, we ended up doing a little bit custom. So the profile is the same, but the width is custom. And that's because this customer wanted a microwave. Now we haven't done an upper mounted microwave before, but that was going to be a requirement for this build. So we went and found this nice Rec Pro unit. It's 1 cubic foot. And it actually has the smallest footprint out of all of the microwaves that we found. So what we did is we slightly modified the profile of our standard upper cabinet to fit this. This may or may not end up becoming a stock item for us. So let us know down in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in. Okay, so you can see how our upper cabinets work. We have a push to open latch and struts to hold everything open. We leave the top and the back open, and our mounting points are built in. Okay, moving on to the lower kitchen section. We've got an all-in-one galley kitchen here. We've got a sink bay, we've got a drawer bay, and we've got a refrigerator bay here for the Isotherm 130. Now, if you've seen our Base Camp, the original prototype for the DIY kits, then you would recognize that this sink is on this side, and we actually have even more drawers. And that is one of the benefits of building the way that we do is things are really modular, makes it really easy for us to switch up a layout, as a customer might need or as you might feel like for your DIY build. Each one of the cabinets is pre-engineered and they're designed to go together in any order. So when this particular customer didn't need quite so much kitchen space, wanted more open space, wanted to compact everything all on one side for our engineering team, that was no problem. We literally just swapped the placement and everything is designed to fit together no matter what. So if you're unsure what kind of galley kitchen setup you want for your build, you're not exactly sure how the placements will work or what will fit, go ahead, just give us a call or shoot us a message and we'll be able to walk you through the process, make sure you get the right setup for your van. I'll briefly just take you through each one of the bays so you can see what they're all about. Obviously right here, we've got our sink. Now this one is hooked up to hot water on a DC hot water heater, 4 gallons. So we can run hot water and cold water. And as is standard, we've got a nice pull-out faucet here with a switch to change the spray mode. If we look underneath the sink, we have another push to open drawer latch, and this is going to be nice open space, as open as we can make it while still including all of the plumbing lines. So this can be used for a multitude of different types of storage. Moving on, if we talk about our drawer bank here, this one is designed with 4 drawers, 2 shallow and 2 deep ones, thinking that things like pots and pans and whatnot will be stored down low, and then your lighter items stored up high. Now we've got a nice secret feature that is going to be an option on these cabinets, and that is electromagnetic drawer locks. So you'll notice right now, I have no problems. I can open up any one of these and they close nice and easy on soft close slides. But as soon as I turn the engine on, when I come over here, get this engine started. Well, now you can see drawers are nice and solid. And I could not open these if I tried, at least without breaking them. So for those of you who don't know what electromagnets are, it's kind of what they sound like. They're magnets that use electricity. So that means that they're not actually magnetic until there's an electric charge applied. In this case, we are using 12 volt coming from the engine's alternator on a switch so that we're not getting that signal until the vehicle's turned on. As soon as the vehicle's turned on, that switch comes to the electromagnets. Those get magnetized, and then we have a 130-pound pull force holding these in place to prevent from sliding open while we're driving. Now, let's just say you've got a passenger with you, you're on a nice slow state road and they want to get up, grab themselves a snack, but the vehicle's on, so how are you going to get to it? Well, we have a nifty lock right back here just so we can go ahead and disengage those while the engine's still running, and you can still gain access to anything that you need. So then when the passenger is all set, of course, they're going to go ahead, re-engage that lock, and then now our drawers can't open again. But when we go ahead and we turn the vehicle off, when we go park, that's going to kill that 12 volt signal coming to our electromagnets, and everything opens up nice and easy again. So now I mentioned that the electromag locks are going to be an option. If you don't want to splurge for those, the more affordable option is going to be the old spring tension locks, which have been ubiquitous around the marine and RV industry for a very long time. Very affordable and pretty strong, just not quite as strong as the electromags. Last up in this galley kitchen, we've got our fridge cabinet, and this one is configured for the isotherm 130, probably the most popular fridge amongst van lifers, which is why we decided to design around it. However, we will have future iterations for different fridges. One of the nice parts about the 130 is that we do have room for one more drawer on top, really just maximizing that storage. The isotherm 130 itself, if you're not familiar with it, pretty large DC powered fridge. We have our regular fridge drawer, or the regular fridge space down here on the bottom. We've got a slide out tray, and then just a couple pockets here on the door to help organize and maximize the space. And then up top, we have a decent sized freezer, much nicer than a lot of the other DC freezers, which have a teeny little pocket you might be able to fit an ice pack and a bag of veggies. We can actually fit maybe some ice cream and a couple frozen meals or some sides. Okay, so before we start talking about furniture, let's cover power quickly. We don't need to talk too long about it because it's a pretty simple system. We always use the EcoFlow 5 kilowatt power system to base all of our full custom builds off of. And that is quite simply because it's all in one, meaning it's simple for us to install, simple for us to diagnose, troubleshoot, and fix if there are any issues. But more than anything, it's simple and affordable for the customer. You can see right here on the back of our upper cabinets, we've got our control panel. I'm not going to go into how this works. That's not what this video is about. If you guys are interested in a full breakdown on how this works and all of the features, drop a comment below and I'll create that video for you in the future. All you need to know for the sake of this video is that it's got a lot of power in the battery and the inverter is super strong. The DC outputs are super strong, so we can pretty much power whatever we want to. So what are we powering in this build? Well, obviously we've got our beautiful LED strip lights up in the ceiling. Those are controlled by our light switch right here on a nice dimmer. We also have some more lights over here, with this one up top controlling our lights underneath the cabinet, and then the one below that controlling the lights underneath our counter. We've got plenty of USB around. We've got USB A and C in a couple spots around the van. So we've got one here in the kitchen. We've got one down here in the bench. And then there are 2 USBs in our beautiful reading lights in the back. So while you are working or sleeping, you can also be charging. So as I mentioned, that inverter is pretty powerful. It'll do a continuous 3.6 kilowatts and up to 6 kilowatts peak. Plenty enough for us to run our microwave. We've also got plenty of outlets around the van. Again, 2 more here in the kitchen, 2 more down here in the bench, and then 2 more, one next to each reading light. Okay, so here we are in the back of the van, or what we call the studio section. Now, if you have seen base camp, then you'll recognize this is a much lower dinette sleeper setup than we normally do. This particular client's not going to be living in it, so storage wasn't quite so much as a concern as comfort and space was. So that made it a really easy decision for us to nix the top layer and just leave the bottom. You can see right in front of me, we've got a bamboo table, and this also serves as a section for the bed where I'm standing, and then in front of the table towards the camera, we also have 2 Baltic birch leaves that fill in the extra open space when we want to put this into bed mode. And supporting the table, we have not the Lagoon leg, but the Easy Reach leg, which is very similar. However, this uses cam locks, which are much nicer to use than the Lagoon style twist. Now, I do want to cover one more non-standard feature we did custom for this client, and that is the timber cladding that we did on our benches. We actually cut this custom from scratch on the CNC router. A first for us, definitely some learning curves, but it came out so good. We're really glad that we took the chance. So to wrap up the tour, we're here at the back. We're going to talk about our utilities. We've got our water utilities on the driver's side and our electrical utilities on the passenger side. So if we lift up our bench seat on this side, we can see we've got a 22-gallon water tank right over the wheel well. We've got our water pump, water pressure accumulator, and our 12-volt water heater right here. And if we look right underneath the bench right here, we've got our shower cassette with a quick connect for a shower hose, and then our freshwater tank fill. And then over here on the passenger side, we've got our electrical. You can see the power hub on the top. This is the brains of the operation where all of the chargers and the smart electronics are. We've got our battery underneath, and then you can see power distribution here in the front. This is where all of our DC fuses and AC breakers are. And on this one, we've also installed a Generation 3 Starlink so that this customer can have Wi-Fi anywhere. Okay, so if you've been following us for a while, then you already know that we are obsessed with weight savings. And if you want, leave it down in the comments below. We'll do a special video just about weight, the GVWR, or gross vehicle weight rating, why you should care, and how we plan around it. But all you need to know for today is a light vehicle is a happy vehicle. So what do we do to keep our builds as light as possible? Well, our cabinetry, as we've already shown you, is made out of sheet aluminum. And as we were looking inside of our benches, I'm sure you noticed that those are made out of welded square tube. And all of that is to keep everything as strong as possible, as light as possible, and as durable as possible. And that includes standing up against the elements and vibration. So if you are worried about how you are going to put together a DIY kit that's made out of sheet metal that is cut and bent, or welded tube, and you say, I don't have any sheet metal fabrication tools or welders, what are you talking about? How am I going to do this myself? Well, good news is we're going to do all of those parts for you. Any of the cutting, any of the bending, any of the welding, we're going to take care of that in our shop, get that done professionally, pack everything up and ship it out to you. So all you have to do is assemble and put it inside the van, making the build process nice and easy and fun, allowing you to be creative without having to go become a master skilled tradesperson, and get you out on the road faster and with a better result than you would have if you tried doing it all from scratch. So with that being said, that wraps up today's video. Thank you for hanging out and watching to the end. Make sure to like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any more videos. All those things really help a small channel and a small business like ours. And we're really trying to do what's right for the customer and people like you, push this industry forward. So if you are interested in working with us, building a van of your own, the link is going to be down in the description, but you can also just check us out at www.vamonosvans.com. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.